Hello, it's your favorite sports Unc here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join the fastest growing community on YouTube. Remember, Nightcap doesn't happen without you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Ocho cry. All right, let's get into this NFL news. Guys, the Steelers have found their starting quarterback. Aaron Rodgers put pen to paper on a one-year deal. He signed a one-year, $13.65 million of passing a physical at the team facility on Saturday, sources told Adam Schefter. The deals include $10 million guaranteed and with incentives can reach $19.5 million. Ocho, let's go to you. What do you think? What are your expectations from Aaron Rodgers, and what will he give the Steelers?
Hey, listen, what he gives the Steelers, he gives the Steelers hope. He gives the Steelers organization, he gives the Steelers fans, he gives them hope. You look at the AFC North, it's dominated by Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and I'm not sure what the Cleveland situation is going to look like, but Flacco obviously has
inside track to start.
Yeah, inside track because he's been in the AFC North before, being in Baltimore and having success in Cleveland when he came in to start for Deshaun Watson when he got hurt. So Aaron Rodgers is better than everything that the Steelers have outside of him at the quarterback position. And that's no disrespect to them. That's no disrespect to Mason Rudolph and whoever else they have there to have at the helm. But Aaron Rodgers, if he can show glimpses, just glimpses of what he was once in the past, I think they will be okay. They have enough pieces around him. Obviously, DK Metcalf. I'm not sure who the running back is.
They got Austin.
Yeah, and, Austin the third, and
yep.
I'm not sure.
And they got Robert Woods.
Oh, and Robert Woods is there. He has a nice supporting cast around him, and you need the supporting cast to be on point to make his job easier because Aaron Rodgers is not in a position again to elevate those around him. He's going to need the help from those he's surrounded by.
What do you think, Judon? What do you think about this deal? You like it?
Oh well, I think the Steelers are like they get hurt from the greatness of Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin always gonna have them in contention, so they can't go and farm a quarterback from the draft. So right. I think this their best pick. Like there's nobody else out there. There's nobody else unless you want to make a trade, but nobody really traded no good quarterback like that. And so if Aaron Rodgers can come in and complete passes and be good in the locker room and do enough, they're going to be in the playoffs again because just how Mike Tomlin had that physical defense. They always going to have a great pass rush with Cam and TJ. Like, so it's going to be hard for them to be bad. They just can't mess it up on offense.
The team announced that Rodgers will wear the number 8. He wore the same number in New York after wearing 12 in Green Bay. Terry Bradshaw wore number 12, and though it's not officially retired, the team doesn't typically give out that number. I think Joe Green, 75. I think Ernie Stautner, 70. I think it's like 3 numbers that are officially retired, but I don't think they've given out like 32. Whatever the number is, another number. I don't think they've given out 58, 47, like Mel Blount. But there are certain, obviously from that Steel Curtain era in which they won 4 Super Bowls in 6 years, some of those guys have numbers, and even though they're not officially retired, no one I don't think has worn those numbers since. But I think Joe Green, Franco Harris, okay, Ernie Stautner, D tackle, his number's retired, 70. Joe Green, 75. Franco Harris, 32. Numbers not officially retired, but not reissued. Terry Bradshaw's 12. Troy Polamalu, 43. Jack Lambert's 58. Jack Ham, 59. Dermontti Dawson's 63. And number 86, Hines Ward.
Well, 86 retired?
It's not retired, but they haven't reissued it to anyone since Hines left.
Okay. Also, Aaron wore 8 at New York, but he was 8 at Cal too.
He was 8 at Cal.
Yeah, Cal. He was 8. So hopefully he can get some of that Cal Berkeley magic back in the system,
right?
To help those Steelers out because, listen, if
that's a very tough division at the top. Yeah, you got the Ravens and Cincinnati.
Yeah. If he doesn't play well, players get coaches fired, man.
Yeah,
and Tomlin could be on the hot seat. For making, obviously, he had him wait. He had the whole organization waiting. He's coming, and obviously he signed because they got minicamp coming up very soon, mandatory minicamp, and he wants to be a part of that, which is also a good thing. That's a good sign. That lets me know that he's buying in as opposed to what he did last season out there in New York. So that's a good thing. But I think if they have a bad season,
you think Mike Tomlin on a hot seat?
Nah, hell, excuse me. Hell nah. He just signed. Didn't he just sign an extension?
What that mean?
That don't matter.
What that mean?
They pay that out every year.
They was already talking about it last year.
Bro, the Steelers haven't fired a coach since 69. I was born in 68. I'm about to be 57. So they haven't fired a coach in 56 years. And you just said Judon the man hadn't had a losing season.
He never gonna have a losing season. He trained them so well. So they play so hard for Mike Tomlin. He ain't never gonna have a losing season.
That's enough. That's enough, huh? I
don't think it's enough because he the one that said the standard is the standard. Well, if the standard is getting to and competing for Super Bowl, they hadn't competed for a Super Bowl in a long time. Nobody thought, even though they make the playoffs, the Steelers are a threat. When was the last time that someone thought the Steelers would be a threat in the playoffs?
But when they had Palomalu, when they had Ike Taylor.
Man, Palomalu retired. He in the Hall of Fame. So he had to wait at least 5 years to get into the Hall. So we're talking about at least at the bare minimum 5.
Well, you asked when. That's when. When their identity was their defense.
They hadn't been a serious threat since then.
But do you mean that mean change? Did that mean change? We ain't been a serious threat, or we have been so consistent that we just haven't got the right person. They haven't had a quarterback that's theirs since being.
Whose fault is that?
Theirs.
Consistency.
They had an opportunity. They could have, when they had Ben Roethlisberger and they thought Brand was going to play like Tom Brady. You know he wasn't because he'd been involved in too many crashes. He's taking too much punishment. So what you do is that what good teams do, what did Kansas City do? Draft a quarterback, and they still had one on the roster. What did Baltimore do when they had Joe Flacco? You were there. They drafted a quarterback. You see what good team? What did Green Bay do? Draft a quarterback. What did Green Bay do with Aaron Rodgers? Draft a quarterback. You see what everybody does? You don't wait. If you wait till your car break down side the road, it's too late. You're already stranded.
Okay, all right, but is that Mike's fault?
Yeah.
He making a.
So you don't think Mike got no say?
Yeah.
You don't think Mike got no say?
If he say, get us a quarterback, please get us a quarterback, and they don't get us a quarterback, how y'all gonna get mad at me?
And you
give Mike all that. You give all that Mike credit. Say he never gonna have him in a losing situation. So who drafted those players? The GM or Mike Tomlin?
Yeah,
but also, we don't know what go on in a war room, but you can't just say, well, it's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin will want a quarterback.
Hold on, Ocho. Matthew, you mean to tell me a man that's been there damn near 20 years, he ain't got no say?
How long the GM been there?
Not as long as Mike Tomlin.
Have they? I ain't never heard of Steelers firing no GM or getting a new GM.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you ever heard of them? I tell you what. You ever heard of them firing a coach?
No,
exactly. So my thing is, when you there that long, you have some say. You have some say on the 53. You have some say in free agency, and you at night. How long Mike Tomlin been there? Coach Kyle retired in 2000. They won the Super Bowl in 5. He came back in 6, so he retired in 7. He been there 19 years.
Yeah.
There's no coach that's been anywhere for 19 years that does not have say. I refuse to believe that.
I don't know who
Hold on, Jude. I don't even think it's about say. I'm thinking about the relationship that Ben Roethlisberger might have had with upper management. With those,
he had a great relationship with Mike Tomlin too.
No. Because if Mike Tomlin is a head coach. He's been in the NFL for a very long time.
Yes.
Mike Tomlin knows at some point I'm going to have to find your successor. At some point. You look at the landscape of the league. Those that didn't do it, look what's happening now.
Ta-da! The Steelers didn't do it.
That's why I think that the calling was above Mike Tomlin's pay grade.
I disagree.
Your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback is getting paid more than the coach.
Yes.
I guarantee.
Them relationships might be a little stronger than even though the coach been there longer, he more tenured.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, we paying this dude only $17 million a year. We paying this dude $50.
We understand that Mike Tomlin had a very strong relationship. He's always had a very strong relationship with his star players. Yeah, we know that. Based on the history, we know that Ben and when AB was there and a lot of these other guys, we know how he feels about his great players. But in order to keep this from happening to you, if you do not get a bridge, if you wait till somebody burn your bridge down, how the hell do you get to the other side? Yeah. I gave you examples. Kansas City, Alex Smith was a Pro Bowl quarterback. What did they do, Matt?
They went and got a Super Bowl. Huh? But when you see that, they went and got what's buddy from Pitt? They went and got Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett.
Man, stop playing. They got Kenny Pickett and they had Steelers fans picketing out front. No, we won't go.
But we gotta put that on somebody. We gotta put that on somebody. When somebody don't turn out in the draft, how you think they are? Not saying he's a bad player. They didn't like him for the system. They didn't like what he was doing, so they had to move on. Do you put that on the coach or do you put that on the person that selects and pays the players?
I think the thing is that I believe there are drafts that they had better quarterback options. And that's the thing. You could sit back and say, you know what, next year, this quarterback is good, but you have to move. What did the Green Bay do with Jordan? What did they do with Jordan Love? How much was they paying Aaron Rodgers? And after they signed him, they gave him a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, why they gave him a big deal? He was pissed off.
Absolutely. And just like Brett Favre was pissed off when they did what? Drafted Aaron Rodgers.
But I mean, Aaron Rodgers seen the situation play out. He already knew what was in the cards. So he said, all right, y'all not going to play me how y'all play Brett and just move on.
I can't worry about 1 year. I got to worry about the next 10, 15 years. So if you just worry about 1 year and one guy's feelings, you'll be stuck.
All right. In those 19 years, I mean, I think the only player that would have failed that far to him, which is a bad pick, was Lamar.
No, it's not that you fall. You move up. Patrick Mahomes, they moved up to get Patrick Mahomes. They moved up to get Jordan Love. You don't have to stand. See, you looking at the philosophy, let somebody fall into my lap. No, if there's somebody, you move up to go get them.
And that's where what I said comes into play, Unc, not pissing off your franchise quarterback. I think the relationship with Ben Roethlisberger and management and GM and president was much stronger than that of whatever Mike Tomlin might have wanted. You think Mike Tomlin didn't want a quarterback when he realized, Ben, okay, you're not moving the same, or Ben, you can't throw the same, or the velocity on the ball is not the same. Mike Tomlin can see that stuff.
Yeah.
He just didn't have the say-so, regardless of being the coach for 19 years, to go and get who we wanted.
But here's the thing. You maintain that great relationship. Now, how you looking as far, because the Steelers, what's the standard for the Steelers? When we think of Steelers, we think of what, Ocho? Championship.
No, no. You think of defense. So you think of Steel. Mike Tomlin, that's his defense.
They abandoned that. They abandoned that. When they got Ben Roethlisberger and they had Antonio Brown and they had Le'Veon Bell, they've been abandoned the defense. When they had the triple Bs, they were throwing the ball. Ben Roethlisberger got 2 5,000-yard seasons. He's got 4 500-yard games. They've been abandoned that. They're back to that now.
They just had an explosive offense for 5-6 years. They had explosive offense. They always had a good wide receiver. They always had a good wide receiver. Somebody that can go get the ball, take the top off. They always going to have that. Defense. When you think Steelers, you think hard-hitting defense. You know when you hear that, hey, mama, rockin' it. You hear that, don't. You know that defense about to do something. You know that defense about to do something. You know it's going to be cold, rainy, wet when you go in there. The grass ain't worth nothing. But their defense going to have to come to play. And so if you're going to beat the Steelers, you have to keep the ball, you have to know how to run the ball, and you have to limit explosive plays from their offense. That's all you got to. That's how you beat the Steelers.
But when's the last time they've had explosive plays from the offense? Ben Roethlisberger's been gone. AB's been gone. Le'Veon Bell been gone. So when have you known the Steelers to have explosive plays?
And that's why George Pickens left the building. George Pickens want to be. He wanna dance. He wanna be in the end zone. He wanna do that. That's why George Pickens left the building. He said, I need to the limelight. I want to see how that feels. He want to be Jamar Chase. He's seen what that looked like in the division, and he said, I can't get that here.
Right. Matthew, thanks for joining us tonight, man. Best of luck in free agency. Come back when you get something penciled in. Come back and join us and let us know where you're going.
All right, I got y'all. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, bro.
I'll let you do.
All right, my boy.
Ocho.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, before you start, like real quick, I just want to say something to you. I'm gonna say it in code a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Even though it's Mike, I don't think he has the pull, even though he's the head coach, to override pissing off the franchise quarterback. Stay with me.
I get you what you're saying, but he got more pull than you think.
Absolutely, because he's been there so long. But with that centerpiece that been there that long, the relationship.
I'm not saying he's had Bill Belichick pull. No, I'm not saying he got Andy Reid type pull.
Bill ran the show.
He might be next in line when it comes to pull.
Right. I got you. We're on the same page.
Because think about it. They went out, they got Joe Flacco, who led them to a Super Bowl.
Yes,
what'd they go do? They trade back into the first round, give up next year's first round pick to get Lamar.
Hey, you can see it, right, Unc? You can see it when your player is declining.
Yes.
Things aren't the same, especially at the quarterback position. You can see it. The funny thing about it is, how much do players, or how much are they self-aware that they're declining? It starts slipping.
It's hard because, Ocho, you don't want to believe it because you've been great for so long. You don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
And so you lie to Ocho.
Lie to yourself?
You lie to yourself. You lie to yourself.
Hey, boy, you turn that film on and be like, who is that?
Damn. Boy, I said, damn, he moving slow. I'm like, oh, shit, that's me. I said, who run like they got on Tim's? Who running like they got Tim's on the field?
Boy, that camera, that eye in the sky will embarrass you.
Yes.
It will embarrass you.
Yes. Ocho, Adam Sandler to cast Derek. Well, we ain't got. I mean, we ain't got what you call them. No. Oh, you just wrote that in there. Nah, that wasn't in there. You just wrote this tweet in there.
What happened?
Yeah, the Jordan Tuck. Yeah. Jordan Tuck made a good point on Twitter. Imagine moving on from George Pickens thinking the locker room distraction only to end up with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback.
Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a different type of distraction. A different type of distraction. Now, obviously, I think he's not going to cause any problem because his leash is short. Because if you mess
here, you see his backups are? His leash long.
Hold on, listen, you mess things up in Pittsburgh. Where's your next destination? Where's your next?
Don't get home.
Oh, okay.
I mean, think about it. He decided to.
Okay, that's what I meant. You have the leverage. You don't have the leverage you once had, where you were sought after, where you one of the best in the league. You still living off that past resume, which is why they still wanted and waited for you to sign this late before mandatory minicamp, because they don't have any other options.
Right.
So
at year 21, I mean, this is going to be his 21st season. How many more seasons do you think he really want to play? He want to subject himself, getting up, studying film all day Monday, studying film all day Tuesday, watching film after practice on Wednesday, Thursday. And, how long you think Aaron Rodgers wants to do that?
Yeah, listen, hey, when he see what the AFC North like, ain't no telling. He might be one and done after this season.
Hey, that's my point. I mean, at 20, you take it, first of all, once you get to a certain number of years, you take it. Probably a quarterback, other positions probably take it year 10. Quarterbacks probably take it at year 15.
Yeah.
especially the way they protect him now. So he's gotten 6 years past year 15.
Yeah.
It ain't like I don't think he's trying to eclipse Tom and try to play 24. You think he tried to play 24 seasons?
Ain't no telling. Ain't no telling because I obviously they will continue to sign him to 1-year deals if things go well.
I mean, that's a very team-friendly contract. I mean, $13.5 million with 10 guaranteed.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. That's nothing. Listen, I love the Steelers. I don't want them to do well. I want them to do well except when they play the Bengals.
Right.
I want DK Metcalf. I want Calvin Austin III, and I want Robert Moore to have
Robert Woods.
Robert Woods to have phenomenal seasons. Like they can. I just want to see them do well for Mike Tomlin's sake. Steeler fans have always been good to me. I fucking love all of them. But when you play the Bengals, y'all can get y'all ass.
The moment we've all waited for. Shedeur Sanders is drafted. 144 in the 5th round. The Browns traded up to select him. All these anonymous reports are coming out about Shedeur having bad interviews, especially with the Giants. According to Todd McShay, Shedeur completely bombed his interview with the Giants. He didn't have a great interview with head coach Brian Daboll. The preparation wasn't there for an install package. Daboll called him out, and Sanders didn't like it. Daboll has gone 8-26 over the past two seasons, so he probably knows a thing or two about being unprepared. To be honest with you, I mean, you go 8-26, you go 8-26, being unprepared. You will know an unprepared person when you see one. Considering over the last 2 years, that's kind of exactly what you've been. And then there's been reports of him having a big entourage because his brother shoots videos of him being in family. He's with his brother and his family. No drinking, no drugs, no controversy, just living his life. Ocho, I'm going to start with you first.
Yeah.
Hear that he didn't do well in the interview.
Yeah.
He didn't hit it off with Coach Daboll. And seemed like he was unprepared. Didn't like the entourage. Okay, go ahead.
Right. I don't believe it, huh? I don't believe it because every single NFL player, when I say every single, I mean every single, has an entourage. Most of the entourages is family and friends. If it's not family and friends, it's friends that you grew up with.
Right.
Everybody has that. So I'm not sure why that even came into play. And we talk about everybody, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, it doesn't matter. So that's one thing. Interview goes bad. Unprepared. Now I'm thinking about a son of one of the greatest players of all time who's always been prepared and coached and having tutelage from one of the best of all time. And for some reason, all of a sudden he wasn't prepared for an interview when it comes to the game of football in which he's a quarterback. Again, that's something else that's not believable. Now, you know, media can screw things and report things that obviously aren't true. Bingo. Forget that. So he drops to the Cleveland Browns. Round 5, pick 144? What was it, 145?
144.
I'm not even tripping at this point. I'm not even tripping at this point because Prime obviously has prepared Shedeur for any and everything, dealing with media, dealing with those that doubt you. So I'm just happy he has this opportunity. Because what's happening in this scenario, in this situation, in which I still believe is collusion, I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about race at all. I'm just saying a collective collusion against Brother Sanders and all the things and just the hype. And listen, the machine, again, I said it last night. We have choices. People choose what they want to see. I said it yesterday. I'm not talking about race at all. One thing for sure, the machine is undefeated and will always remain undefeated. Anytime it feels not really threatened, but there's another name or family that think they can come in and do things their way, they'll humble you. And this was an example of it, that we've never, ever seen before to this magnitude. We've never seen anything like this.
No.
I'm happy for Shedeur. I'm happy for Shiloh. And for Shedeur Sanders getting the opportunity to play for the Cleveland Browns. His situation is simple as put. It's delayed, but it's not denied. It's not about where you go, it's what you do once you get there. So now you know what you need to do. The Browns haven't had a quarterback. They haven't had a sufficient quarterback, a consistent quarterback for
Bernie Kosar.
Very long. Hey, we have since Bernie for a very long time. This might be their calling. This might be their blessing. This might be his blessing even going there. So I'm happy for him. He's going to do what's necessary. I'm sure he had the chip on his shoulder, and I'm excited because in that AFC North, it runs through Cincinnati, and the only way you're gonna get it done is if you got a quarterback. I just had to add a little piece in there.
I saw that. I saw you throw that in there.
What you think, Twan?
Honestly, man, guys, to be honest with you, I mean, I feel for him. Obviously, you work so hard, and it's tough when you project to go first round. I had a situation once. It's obviously not the same because basketball is totally different as far as the number of people that get picked. But I was with my best friend, Nazir Muhammad, was supposed to be picked lottery when he came out. And Nas slid to 29 and just sitting there. And that, obviously, it was nothing like Shedeur where you had to actually wait a whole nother day to get drafted.
2 days.
But just to see him slide, huh?
You waited 2 days. He got drafted today.
Yeah,
they had to draft Thursday and
so
Friday.
you had to wait 2 days, so it's different. But I think like this, to be honest with you, I think you have to play the game, Shannon. To be honest with you, I think if he would have, I'm just gonna play the game till I get drafted. Whatever that would have been, and I think sometimes that's what not, and I'm not sure of this, and you guys could correct me if I'm wrong, because it seemed like I never seen an agent, and obviously I'm watching from afar, I'm watching off TV, on social media.
Right.
Do he have an agent?
I don't know. I bet Shiloh made a joke talking about our dad was our agent, and we might need to hire a new agent.
Okay, right. I don't know, because I think you know how this is. Sometimes you have an agent; he can tell you the truth behind closed doors of what they're actually saying and what you need to work on. So by Deion being the dad, he probably not really hearing everything. They probably can't tell him. So he's not hearing everything that they're saying. So I think that was probably one mistake, and I don't know if he had an agent or not. So if the agent, to kind of buffer that, to talk to him and kind of figure it out. But you got to figure this thing out, man. I think one thing about it, it was about interview. I don't think his skill set. I mean, he put the numbers up. The numbers speak for themselves. He had the numbers. So we got to look at some of the other stuff. I mean, I worked out for 9 teams when I came out. I interviewed with 9 teams. So you got to go through that process. I'm not sure how he interviewed. Maybe that was a little sketchy. That can rub some GMs and execs the wrong way. Sometimes if you don't interview well. Maybe the swagger, what he's coming with. Great family dynamics. His family's going to support him. Right. Obviously, he has a certain swag, a certain aura he carries with him, which we all love, and we just talked about that. We like that. All 3 of us talk trash. We all celebrated. We all had fun. So we know that. So that's not the problem. We brought our own style, so that wasn't the problem with him. I just felt like they didn't play the game that everybody else played, and they wanted to show them that, look, it's still the NFL. We still run this. You still got to go through this proper pecking order. And I think that's what it was. That's what it looks like. You can't look at if you look at his numbers, his skill development, the guys that got picked before him, all the stuff, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So it's got to be something behind the scenes. It can't be football ability. It has to be something behind the scenes. That's why I said if he had an agent, maybe somebody that can hear the noise, because he probably didn't hear the real noise.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We on TV watching all the analysts and everybody, but y'all privy to so much information. Y'all only privy to so much. We're not hearing that real noise. You know what I mean? So that's what, and sometimes your agent gets that for you to kind of help you out and maybe help you get your act together. That's why I really wanted to know if he had an agent.
But the funny thing about it, Twan, even at that point, you are who you are. Shedeur is who he is. The Sanders family, they are who they are. That's it. And they've always been unapologetically themselves. And that rubs a lot of people wrong. A lot of people don't like that, including some of those in the NFL. Some of the things that Deion has said in the past, they probably didn't like. They probably didn't like it. He wanted to pull an
Archie and Eli.
Archie Manning. He wanted to pull, with Eli. They probably didn't like it. They quoting tweets that he said a long time ago. And let me tell you why I know this is all collusion. I think about some like going, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring that up. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm happy he got where he needed to go. This is exactly where we were supposed to land, because I guarantee you, watch it be a blessing in disguise and them never having a quarterback, and all of a sudden, for some reason, Shedeur being the answer for the next decade.
Hope you're right.
Watch.
Can I ask you guys something? I'm a basketball guy. I want to ask you something, Chad. You can answer this because you're talking right now. Can you answer this? Is the Cleveland the right fit for him? Because sometimes, let's disregard what number he went. Did he go to a good situation where he can actually be able to showcase himself and have a real opportunity to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? Do you guys like that situation?
If the GM and the owners are competent when his time comes to be able to compete for a starting job, if they continue to build around him, yes, it's the right place. If they continue to do right by the quarterback position, like other teams are doing, like they do for the Mahomes and they do for the Jalen Hurts and they do for, the other quarterbacks, the Jaden Daniels, as you continue to put the pieces to the puzzle around him, while you have a quarterback on a very, very cheap, I hate using that word cheap, but a very affordable contract.
Rookie contract
around him. Yeah, I think he's in the right place. But if they do what they've always done for a very long time, where they've been through 276,000 quarterbacks, then it would be the same process will repeat itself. They had Baker Mayfield. You had the number 1 pick. There was nothing wrong with Baker Mayfield because look what he's doing in Tampa Bay. So that tells you where the problem lies. That the problem lies with Cleveland internally. Now you got opportunity again. Let's not F it up.
Yeah, I do. I love when the young quarterbacks come in and have an unbelievable support system. Hopefully you have somebody that's really smart schematically, knows how to diagram plays. Ocho knows how to put quarterbacks in the right situation. You have a decent running back. I'm not saying you need Saquon. I mean, although that would be nice to have a Saquon Barkley and a Derrick Henry on a rookie quarterback, but you need quality receivers. You see C.J. Stroud where he went and had success. Look at the receiving core that he had. You look at Jaden Daniels. Look at the receiving core that he had. The question is, are there enough pieces around any quarterback, regardless if it's a rookie or not, is there enough pieces around him so he can adequately do what he needs to get done? I think Stefanowski is an unbelievable coach. He's a coach of the year. He knows how to call plays. He knows how to scheme plays. And so now it just comes down to, okay, when you get your opportunity, you got to shine. You got to prepare like there's no tomorrow, because that's already out there, Ocho. You see what they said? He was unprepared. You see what they did, Ocho? Oh. See, we already put that out there on you now.
Hey, that's the game, Unc. They're going to play the game. They're going to play the game. There's only one way you could beat the game, Unc. That's in between the lines.
Yeah.
No matter what they say, it blocks out all the noise. You can only beat the game in between the lines. That's it. No matter what they say.
But I will say this, Ocho. I don't know if they're going to allow Bucky to go in and film everything that Shedeur is doing. That's over.
No.
That's over. Now, when you're at Colorado and your dad's the head coach, they're going to allow that. That's over with now.
Yeah, I mean they understand that.
But I thought he was the video guy. I thought he's the video guy.
No, you can't. You ain't gonna have no personal video guy.
You can't do that. Now, once you enter that building, once you on grounds in that facility, all that's done.
Yeah, and so that's having an entourage. Yeah, I don't, and like I said, I don't know if he went to the building and they tried to go in the meeting rooms and Bucky was trying to capture content. He doesn't have an agent because Time agent was Eugene Parker. Rest his soul. Eugene passed away several years ago. And so I'm sure Time will probably interview somebody now. And I agree with you, Twan, probably. And that's the thing. Because you have an agent and they hear things and they can tell you things. Now they're gonna all the really, really bad stuff, they ain't gonna share that with you because they don't want to mess with you mentally.
Yeah.
But they'll share enough of stuff with you so you get the picture and get a great understanding of what's actually going on. So go ahead.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, I saw, obviously my agent was obviously when I first got in the league, it was Jerome Stanley, phenomenal dude, did really well for me. On the back end of my career. In the middle, on the back end, it was Drew Rosenhaus. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw Drew Rosenhaus post for Shedeur Sanders once he got drafted. So I'm assuming Drew Rosenhaus must be representing Shiloh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he represents Shedeur, though.
Right. I get it. Because, okay, the Browns, the current quarterback room, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders. Deshaun Watson, starter. Flacco is a vet if Deshaun can't go. You got Kenny Pickett, the backup. Dylan Gabriel, rookie. Shedeur, rookie, fifth. What's going on? I mean, damn. What's really going on? What's really going on, Ocho?
Hey, I like to compete. I ain't got no problem with it. I like to compete. Who I need to beat out? I love Kenny Pickett.
I don't know how you beat Deshaun out when he got another $38 million this year and another $40 million next year. How you beat him out?
Hey, Deshaun not playing this year.
Okay, he's not gonna play this year. Okay, so now you got
He got
Flacco
ACL,
and
right?
Kenny Pickett.
ACL.
Yeah.
Achilles.
Achilles. Yeah. So listen, I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
tell you
Okay,
how
Keys.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna play out.
How it's gonna play
I
out.
love Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny Pickett. I love that brother Gabriel. But Shedeur, if he does what he's supposed to do, we've seen Kenny Pickett already. We haven't seen Dylan Gabriel yet. But I'm just saying, I know probably Flacco's gonna start. He's gonna start. At some point, Shedeur's gonna get a shot. At some point, he's gonna get that shot. And when the door opens,
Let me ask both of you guys. Let me ask both of you guys this:
why
would Cleveland do? Why would Cleveland do that? Why would Cleveland want a quarterback room with 5 guys? Does that bring up? Does that mean anything? When taking him?
3.
Yeah,
they're gonna keep 3.
Oh, okay.
Because Deshaun is not playing this year.
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting he's not
if,
playing. He's not playing till like January or February or something like that. You're right. I forgot.
Well, he didn't play. You might as well just go ahead and put him on IR and go ahead and let that go. What I don't get, Cleveland, at some point in time, y'all got to stop trading back. Y'all could have had Julio Jones. You traded back. You could have had Travis Hunter and Shedeur, and you traded back. At some point in time, when guys are sitting there waiting for you to take them, take them.
Right.
Take them. It's okay. But I guess they're looking at it like we're more than one player away. But sometimes that player can help change things around. I don't get it. I don't get what they're doing with this situation. Like you said, Twan, he had an unbelievable college career. He played well at Jackson State, and then they said, well, yes, Jackson State, that's why you're doing that. He goes to Colorado, he puts up exceptional numbers, great completion percentage, he throws guys open. No, he's not the most athletic guy, but he's not a decathlete. He don't need to high jump, long jump, pole vault, shot put, hurdle, 100, 400, 1,500. He don't need to do all that. Yeah. All he needs to do, can he take 3? Can he drop back 5? Can he zone read? Can he do the stuff? Can he process information in a hurry?
Yeah.
That's what a quarterback needs. He needs to be confident. He needs to be able to process information in a hurry, and he needs to be able to retain information. I mean, he's shown you he can do that ever since from middle school to high school to college. So let's see if that's transferable. I like to think that it is, but you don't know. Twan, you know this. Same thing with all sports. You don't know what you have in the guy until you get him in your building and put him in your uniform. That's when you 100% know for certain what the hell I got.
Yeah.
Because all this other stuff, well, he won this award and he did all this and he did all of that. And I've seen it. Having played in the NFL, guys come in and have all these credentials. And I don't know how somebody gave you a fake passport. Because I don't know how you get all that.
Let me ask you guys in football, is it about the number or is it more about the fit?
Fit. It's always going to be fit.
Yeah. It's always going to be fit. So
always.
Do you guys think this? So if you had to grade this fit, what would you guys go right now? I know you got to go compete.
I like New Orleans a little better. If you had to grade this fit, I would have liked New Orleans a little better.
I would like New Orleans better too.
But the thing is now, because Twan, I was telling Ocho last night, is that I went to a team. I was a big wide receiver. I went to one of the 3 teams that had the H-back position. Washington had the H-back position. The Broncos had the H-back position. And the Chargers, San Diego, they were in San Diego then, had the H-back position. Every tight end on the roster got hurt. I'm the biggest receiver. Coach Reeves come, hey, would you be willing to move the H-back? I'm going to catch the ball. Yeah, if you learn the plays, okay. So now, here I am, a big wide receiver. Imagine I don't go to a team that has the H-back position. So I switched midway through, like a third of the way. I have probably like week 8, week 9, week 10. They moved me to like tight end. Ta-da. And the rest of that, they say history. So it's absolutely where you go. Not a lot. I get it, because a lot of times, Twan, you know this. First 4 or 5 picks, they get a boatload of money. Now, you want to make a boatload of money for a short period of time, for an extended period of time. Because I had a 14-year career. There are a lot of guys that went in the first round, Ocho. They made money for a 3-4 year period. I made money for a 14-year period. It's not how much money you make, it's how long you make money. And then what are you going to do? It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. So it's absolutely, Twan, fit, where you go, that
Yeah.
fit.
And what they do for you while you're there.
And it's better for him too, though. And he's made a little money in the NIL space too, so he's okay. He's made a little money.
Had he known what he known, he'd have stayed in college and made some more NIL money. He like, hell, if y'all gonna take me to the 5th round, he made more in NIL than what his rookie contract gonna be, Ocho.
Yeah.
Oh wow, damn, that is right.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. But listen, I think the situation in general is good for him. It puts a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh, this is how you feel about me? Okay, bet. Hold my beer. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me. I've faced adversity before. I've had to hurdle obstacles before. This is just another one that's in the way. I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm worthy of doing all the things you said I can't. Oh, you feel I'm a 5th round pick? I'm a 5th rounder? Okay, bet.
Yeah.
I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping at all. Again, Shedeur's chat. I know y'all can hear me. Shedeur's situation is simple as this. It was delayed. He wasn't denied. That's all.
Yeah. Now
Delayed,
when you get
but not
there,
denied.
hey, do what you're supposed to do, and everything else will take care of itself. Won't nobody care where you got drafted at, and he had to wait and was so disappointed, and they prank calling him and doing all this other stuff. When you go do what you need to do, everything is fine. Yeah. Everything will work itself out. Darius Slay does not consider Jalen Hurts one of the league's top quarterbacks. Let's take a listen to what Slay had to say about his quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
The elite go to the top 4 guys. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do elites. And like elite for me in the quarterback world is Joe Burrow, Mahomes, Lamar.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen. Them are the elites. They got their own, you know what I'm saying?
You putting Hurts
Now
in that group?
this is funny. Now I just talked about this on First Take. You know, when I did I didn't say elite, just the best quarterbacks right now in the NFL. I went Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Then I went Jalen Hurts simply because he's just coming off a Super Bowl. In my third, I put Joe. And I saw people upset about that. I'm basing it off the season that we was just played. And obviously, people would be like, "Why would you put Joe third?" Because I'm a Bengal.
Let me ask you this.
I'm a Bengal. I'm biased.
Go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say with this one. Go ahead.
I'm biased. Normally, or how it should be based off the season, it should be Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, then Joe Burrow. Am I correct or am I wrong?
I think he's looking at it like this.
Right.
If I took Josh Allen and put it with the Eagles, are they worse than they are with Jalen Hurts?
They're better.
If I take Joe Burrow and put it with the Eagles,
I'm not.
If I put Joe Burrow, are they better or worse? If I put Lamar Jackson, I gave him the exact same team. He has Saquon, he has that defense, he has those receivers.
That's not fair.
If I put Patrick Mahomes, they got that same running back, they got that same receiver, they say at that same defense. Now, I take Jalen Hurts and I put him in any of those other guys' system. What you thinking?
It'd be completely different. It'd be different. Because in those other systems, those guys are asked to do things that Jalen Hurts doesn't have to do with the Eagles.
Agree. The problem is, Ocho, is that the ring culture has ruined it.
Yeah.
Because we take a guy, okay, Joe Flacco got a ring. So now people believe that Joe Flacco is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, than Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or anybody that did, and I just don't believe that.
I mean,
I don't believe Nick Foles. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl MVP. Nick Foles isn't a better quarterback than Lamar. He's not. He's not a better quarterback than Joe Burrow. He's not a better quarterback than Josh Allen. He's not. He's not a better quarterback than Dan Marino. He's not.
right.
But because we've equated rings best, no.
Not the way it goes.
I don't. That's not how I do it. I don't. Now, if you're talking about when we're talking about great, I believe you can be great without having a ring. Where rings come into effect, Ocho, is when you're talking about EST, greatest. But it's not the end all be all because now you have to add other things. All NBA, all pro, all star, Pro Bowl. You know what I'm saying, Ocho? Things of that nature. Offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year. Things of that nature. Did you play? How did you play? How long did you play? And how great were you? I mean, look, it's hard to take a situation like guy was great from start to finish.
Right.
Tom Brady was not great his first year. Peyton Manning was not great his first year. But boy, those years in between it, between the first and the last, Ocho, they tore a lot of people ass up. Yeah. So that's just me. Look, everybody has their opinion on how they judge greatness. Ocho, this is so subjective. That's your opinion. I look at it one way. That's just me. Darius Slay also named Reed Blankenship as the natural leader of the secondary should Slay depart. Reed being around me and a lot of veterans before, I'm sure he can lead that group the right way. That's who I feel would be leading the group. If it ain't in the building, he's a great damn leader. Mm-hmm. CJ Gardner-Johnson saw this responded. Vet's presence is always needed. Don't get me wrong, but bro, what vet is needed when young guys can hold their own? Coop, you got a crazy duo in Reed and me, and supporting cast Ringo, Za, Dre, Sam, Eli, Sidney, Tristan. Stay with the youth. You ask me.
I mean, I kind of agree. A veteran presence is always good to have, especially in certain circumstances. Having that experience is a good thing. I think it's a good thing, and it's one way for the young bucks to learn. I don't see it as a bad thing at all. Are they arguing, going back and forth on Twitter?
Yeah, I think he said that. I think CJ thought Slay would say he should be the. Okay. I ain't getting that. Hey, last vet that replaced me helped y'all get to the door in the wild card round. Remember that? If we need a vet that played a lot to help us, she didn't learn from the last mistake. Not a crash out, just keeping it real. He felt some type of way because Slay didn't say he should. Ocho, Bruce Arian, regarded as the quarterback whisperer, spoke about Anthony Richardson. He said, Anthony, I think, needed 2 more years in college as a passer. I didn't see him as being able to beat anybody in 2-minute and third down. If you can't do that in the NFL, you're just an average guy. He lied.
Yeah,
he lied.
Yeah, he's right. I have.
You got third. Ocho, you make your money on third down
every time.
You got to make your money on third down.
Listen, you hope to make your hay on first to make second and third a little easier.
Yes.
But if you don't, the better the passer you are, the more easy it is to convert those third downs. Now, obviously, I think the repetitions, obviously being in college, would have helped him tremendously. If you look at the numbers, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to state and be wrong statistically. But he didn't play that many games in college, huh?
That's where he said he should, and he wasn't a high completion percentage guy in college. So we're not playing a whole lot, and I get why he came out, Ocho.
Yeah,
the guy's a top 5 pick.
Oh yeah,
he got $25 million probably fully guaranteed. Mm-hmm. They ain't paying that in NIL and collective, so I get why.
Right,
I get why. You get why. His family gets why. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, why are we doing this, Ocho? We're trying to set our families up. That's how that's how, I'm not saying all. Let me take that back, Ocho. Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as all or every. But a lot of us, what we do this for is for our family. Absolutely. We're trying to get to the bag as soon as we possibly can because everybody didn't grow up like a Grant Hill that had a 2-parent or the Mannings or the Watts. So we grew up in a situation, a lot of times it's grandma, a lot of times it's mom, and we trying to get there to get them out of that situation. Mm-hmm. So I get why he did it.
Right.
But what Bruce has said, and I totally agree, he could have gotten a lot more by staying and getting better at his craft. Right. But at the end of the day, in the 2-minute drill, And on third down is as a quarterback where you make your money.
You got to have it. You got to have it. But Unc, who's to say? There are a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL that have made it, that have stayed for 4 years, that have been there for a long time,
Right.
that are struck in those same situations and converting third downs. So just
That's why
you
his big message is Ocho.
Right.
2-minute drill, third down. If you can't do that, you're average. So he's not saying that he believed that he would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
Look at BA's record, Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. He worked with Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Had all those guys in the early stages.
Right.
He worked with he had Carson. I think he had Carson.
Yeah,
in Arizona, didn't he?
In Arizona, yeah.
Okay, so he knows something about the quarterback position. I like BA. BA gonna tell you like it is. It ain't no sugarcoat with BA now.
Yeah. Most definitely.
If it comes up, it's coming out.
Yeah,
So
it was also one of the issues then over there in Tampa. Now, remember?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why they sent his ass upstairs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I believe, because here's the thing, Ocho. He was a 50% completion guy in college.
Mm-hmm.
If you're 50% in college,
50,
he's 46. Put it like this here: he had a worse completion percentage than Tebow in the NFL. And Tebow was 47%. It was worse than Tebow's. So you're not going to be successful. Ocho, with the way the field is spaced now, the way they protect the quarterback, the way they protect the receivers,
right?
Everybody should be completing 60%.
Yeah. Actually, you should. It's because to me, I'm not saying the game is easy, but they made the offensive game much easier.
Yes, and so that's why the quarterback,
with the way defenders and defense are handicapped.
So now it used to be if you completed in the high 50s, boy, you had a hell of a season.
Oh yeah.
You had a hell of a 90s when I got to the league, and even before, Ocho. Right. If you threw for 3,000 yards was the standard. If you threw for 3,000 yards, because everybody ran the football. Mm-hmm. That's why many believe Dan Marino still has the greatest statistical passing season, even though they've passed him for yards, they've passed him for touchdowns. Right. Mm-hmm. He threw for 5,000 yards and 48 touchdowns in that era.
The running era, yeah. Duper, and Clayton was eating, boy.
Boy, did you know what they did? Look, I came in when they knocked your ass off. There was no part of the quarterback that was off limits. Right. The only thing, you couldn't hit him at the bottom of his feet, and that's because he was standing on them. Other than that,
everything was a green light.
From the top of the head to the top of your feet.
Yeah.
You remember I sent you that clip what Charles Martin did to Jim McMahon?
Oh yeah.
How he was just standing there and he looked around like, "Oh, I got you." What? Mm-hmm. Oh, that was commonplace. Go back and look. Bruce Smith jumps off sides. That's what they call unevaded to the quarterback.
Right.
Bruce jumped off sides, knocked Boomer Esiason out
of the game
for like weeks. Not just the game, for weeks. It was anything goes. Mm-hmm. Anything. And so they made it easier. So for a quarterback to be in the 40s,
right?
Whew, Lord.
Rolling. Bad. Bad.
That's bad. It's Ocho. He's got to get up to the mid 50s. He's got to get it up to the mid 50s, Ocho.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think a quarterback struggling to have a high percentage or high completion percentage? Do you think that's because of his supporting the cast around him is not good enough?
Man, he got some. Hey, you see what he got them receivers? He got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. We forgot to mention Jonathan Taylor. We didn't even mention him, Ocho.
And honestly, having Jonathan Taylor back there, it should make anything having to do with the passing game that much effing easier.
Yes.
Because I know they got a safety in the box.
Yeah,
absolutely. They do.
Absolutely.
Listen,
and you got Pittman. They got Pittman. They got another receiver too that's really good. I forget his name though.
Hey, number 10.
Yes.
Oh my God. Hey, Chad, hey, I apologize for the disrespect, but young bull, whoever wears number 10, I forget your name. Boy, I'm telling you here out of my mouth, boy, you is the real deal, boy. You the real deal. And I apologize if I remember your name. Boy, young bull, you're the real deal, boy.
Oh, yeah.
What's his last name, Unc?
I can't.
Oh man,
They got Michael Pittman Jr. What's the other receiver? Alex Pierce.
Oh,
Alex Pierce.
That's number 10 name, Alex
And
Pierce.
Downs. They got Josh Downs, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman Jr. I think the tight end is Mo Alley Cox. And they got Jonathan Taylor. And they had Braden Smith took some time away. He was dealing with some things. They got a nice offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no reason, there's none for him to be completing less than 50% of his passes. Because he missed a lot of throws, Ocho. And I say, bro, you don't have to throw everything through the eye of a hurricane.
You got to touch. You got to touch. You got to have some touch. You got to have some finesse to your game. You got to have some finesse. I'm trying to think what quarterback is labeled of having a very
Mitchell is number 10, Ocho.
Mitchell. Hey, what, you don't know his first name?
Adam Mitchell. Yeah. Whatever it is, he could cook.
Hey, he be cooking. Hey, brother Mitchell, I apologize. I will never forget your name again. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna give you.
They got some nice receivers over there, Ocho.
I'm talking about nice. And
there's no reason for him.
That Mitchell has a bigger role coming this season.
There's no reason for him to be completing 46% of his passes.
Yeah.
With that type of receiving core, with that offensive line, and with Jonathan Taylor in your backfield.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, he might be better this year. You never know. You have a whole off season to work on the things you need to work on. Going into having another mini camp, another training camp up under your belt, familiarity with the system you're in. I think and hoping this year he
got to put the time in.
Yeah, you got to. I'm hoping he plays with a lot more confidence, and he'll be fine.
You got to put the time in.
Yeah,
you got to put the time in. And if he does that, remember we had Pittman on.
Yeah.
Who else? We talked to some people like, hey, bro, he can't be the first. You can't be the last one in and the first one to leave. It's got to be it's got to be first.
Yeah.
Reverse. The first one in, the last one to leave.
Last one to leave.
Not the last first. First last.
Right.
But hopefully he gets it figured out because, like I said, I think they got it. Look, that's a very competitive division. Oh, you got Houston,
C.J. Stroud.
Houston you got Lawrence. You about to have Cam Ward in that division.
Oof.
Because look, if you go back and study it, Ocho, look at it. It's a quarterback league.
Yeah.
Look at the NFC East.
Oh.
Look at the AFC. Look at the AFC West. What they have in the West. Look at these divisions. That'll tell you who's winning it.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks. Because that's what you got to compete against. I know they're not on the field at the same time, but you have to match him. You can't our defense is going to hold him. If I throw for 170 yards, we're going to – no. You might win 1 or 2 games like that, but you're going to have to match that production.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
So hopefully AR gets this thing figured out and get this thing turned around. Ocho, this is now we in your realm. Lamar Jackson is now the only AFC starting quarterback without a Super Bowl appearance. AFC North, Aaron Rodgers, he beat the Steelers in Super Bowl 35. Well, I'm saying, but he beat the Steelers, so he's been the one. Joe Burrow's been the one. We know Flacco's been the one. Lamar Jackson has not. Will this be the season that Lamar Jackson gets to a Super Bowl?
You know what? I don't know if it's going to be the season, but he will get there before he's done playing. I know that much. That AFC North is so unpredictable, especially with the Bengals. I'm not sure how they will start off this season. You can kind of count the Ravens and being in every season. As long as Lamar Jackson is there, regardless of what pieces he has around him alone can get them to the playoffs by himself. And then the support he has always been phenomenal. But you always know Lamar Jackson is gonna give you this. It's like when you watch Giannis play, Unc, like you said, he gonna get that 30, and you watch SGA play, he gonna give you that 30. That's the same way Lamar Jackson is. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. As far as the Super Bowl is concerned, I'm not sure if it will be this year, but if it is this year, it will be because they go to the playoff games each week and they have no effing turnovers. No turnover. That's the only reason that kept them out.
Yeah, because they went like 9 weeks in the regular season and didn't have a turnover, Ocho.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get to the biggest game where it matters most and you turn it over twice. And then you still almost had an opportunity to come back and win.
Yep.
But that's what it comes down to, So I'm excited for him, even as a Bengal, man. I'm excited for Lamar in general, to take my Bengal stardom, I can put that aside and actually root for the young bull, man, to want to see him do well.
You mean fandom?
And
yeah, but we good. You say
What I said. Oh, my bad. I mean fandom. Yeah,
we know what you meant. That's Ocho. That's Ocho talking, y'all. Give him a break. That's Ocho.
Yeah, I would just want to see him do well.
Joe, what you think? This the year?
I think so. They went on a great run, I thought, this past NFL season. And for me, I feel like they got everything in their toolbox as far as defense. Offensively, they're a high-power offensive machine. And I can see it happening.
He just need to get the one, Ocho.
That's it. Get that monkey off your back.
Win it. He need
too good. I mean, he's too good. I mean, he's too good. I mean, look he could easily be a 3-time league MVP, Ocho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to.
Yeah, they cheated him.
Look, I think this was the second or third time this ever happened. A guy because normally the quarterback that goes to is the All Pro. He normally wins the MVP.
Yeah.
87, it happened with Joe Montana. Joe Montana was the first team All Pro quarterback. John Elway won the MVP. Did it happen another year? I think it happened 2 or 3 times. This was the second or the third time that it's happened. I know it happened in 87. 87 was the strike year. That was my sophomore year in college. I remember that. So
you saying he just need to get there?
If he get there and play well, we like, well, what, damn. Ain't nothing else he can do. It's kind of like Tom, when Tom lost to the Eagles, he threw for 500 yards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, well, he didn't stop anybody. He just he needs to get there. Let him get there. Then I worry about whether he plays well or not. I just want him to get there. That's all I want. I want to see him on that big stage.
That's a hell of a division they in. That's a gauntlet, boy. You got to.
Yeah. and you think about it, you still got because in AFC you got Joe Burrow and you got him in the same division.
Yeah,
you still got my homeboy and you got Josh Allen,
and then now you got
Aaron Rodgers in there.
You don't know what Aaron Rodgers you're gonna get. You ain't gonna get the Aaron Rodgers of old, but you're gonna get glimpses and hot flashes of what he used to be.
Yeah.
And that is just enough to get him Steelers fans hope and the organization in general, which is why they waited on his ass.
4-time Pro Bowl running back Nick Chubb is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans. The signing is contingent on Chubb passing a physical. The former Cleveland Brown running back would join the Texans rushing attack led by Pro Bowl rusher Joe Mixon, Damian Pierce, Dare Ogunbowale, and 4th-round pick Woody Marks out of USC. Ocho, you like this?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do. I like it. I mean, does it take away some of the carries away from Joe? I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm sure they'll find a way. They'll find a way to make it work. I don't think with Joe being a number 1 running back and bringing in another number
himself. I mean, you still got Damian Pierce there. You got Ogunbowale.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Though, huh?
4th-round pick in Woody Marks. There ain't no guarantee he's gonna make the team, Ocho.
Who?
Mick Chubb.
Man, stop playing, man. Come on, man. Don't do that. What you mean no guarantee? Hey, I just seen Chubb squatting 750 pounds last week.
It ain't a powerlifting meet.
Hey, listen, he's a power runner, and he always has been. Ain't nothing pretty about him. Hey, when you look at Nick Chubb, when you walk him dressed, in the locker room where they had a little mannequin on the wall on how
with all them pads.
Put your uniform on. That's Nick Chubb. That's just how you run the ball. Hey, but listen, he's a downhill runner, man. He's really good. He relies on his offensive line, to get him going. And I don't know. I don't like that move. of having two number ones or two really, really good running backs on the team like that. I mean, it's similar, but it's two of the same type of backs. I can see if you had something like a Jahmyr Gibbs and a David Montgomery, but you got two of the same things in the backfield, really. Or maybe I could be wrong.
They are.
Maybe I could be
but
wrong.
Mixon catches the ball a little more. He's a little more shifty. He's not really the same type. Joe Mixon is kind of more like a Dameon Pierce. He's more of a power runner. I don't really know Woody Marks, so I don't really know a whole lot about him, so I can't speak to that. But Joe got a little bit more wiggle, a little bit more twitch to it than the Chubb. Chubby is all power. When you squat 600, 700 pounds, you're a power runner.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I was doing that in high school. I mean, so damn. All right, that's a nice little combo back there, though. Nice
big fella.
Ocho still ain't paying me my money, Titus. What you think about that?
Man, when I get back to Atlanta, I'm gonna put my big boy on the screen. They look exactly like that black mask.
Yeah,
that black mask with that tan coat, exactly alike.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, where you at, Joe?
Man, I'm in Detroit.
Okay.
We got I'm out here with my big 3 team, Detroit Amps. We're doing a little mini training camp before we take off to Chicago this upcoming weekend and playing our first game. So
okay. It's on TV?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be on CBS, baby. You already know prime time. Stop playing.
Y'all got money, boy. I'm be tuned in now.
Come on now, yeah.
Chicago Bears head coach Ben Johnson is already tweaking Caleb Williams' mechanic issue. The second-year quarterback has adjusted his stance and is keep his left foot forward before the snap. Ben Johnson said, "I've done it a number of ways in my time in the league and really over the last few years. I kind of gravitated towards that. It's something that I feel pretty strongly about. He and I talked about it, the reason why we want to do it. I think it helps out certainly with the quick game from the gun, and it helps us being a little bit better of throwing posture for like a lot of other things that we're asking him to do." Mm-hmm. Ocho, do you like this? And do you expect big things from Caleb Williams in 2025?
I absolutely do expect big things from Caleb Williams, because understanding how good he is already, tremendous athleticism. He has a very strong arm, and he's a dual threat quarterback. With the addition of Ben Johnson and the creativity that he's able to bring to that offense, and what Caleb can do, I think it's going to be that much better for them offensively. I'm excited. I'm excited for him. The little twists and nuances that he's changing in Caleb's game is really interesting. Probably allowing Caleb to get to and drops a little faster, being able to process information a little faster, especially in the quick game. And I think it's going to help him in the long run. People that might not like Caleb Williams for personal reasons based on what he likes to do and enjoy off the field, I think it's because of what he said, and his dad said they didn't want to go to Chicago. I think people are still holding that against him. Yeah, well, that just came out. Before they even came out, just some of the things he did when he was at USC and some of the things, the painting the nails and all. I mean, listen, just personal stuff like that outside of what just came out. I think they're going to be all right. I think they're going to be all right simply because of not only the supporting cast he has around him, but getting a coach, a winning coach like Ben Johnson there is gonna do wonders for him.
Hell, if it's gonna help us win more games, hell, I'll pay for him to get a painting. I'll pay for him to get a manicure.
Right.
All I'm trying to do is win games. I don't care about what somebody else do. They ain't got nothing to do with me, Ocho. Him painting his nail, painting his toenails. Yeah, he want to dye his hair pink, green, blue, have a blonde streak. Hey. I don't give a D.
Mm-hmm.
You're a football player. You're the quarterback of this team. Distribute the football.
That's it.
You will have more positive than negative, and we good. All that other stuff, man, I'm telling you, guys don't care. Guys want to win. So what somebody do in their spare time?
That's on them.
But them ain't my hands. Why I care?
You right.
Hey, just be a good teammate.
That's it.
Let's come in here. Hey.
It work.
Where you from? What you did? Okay. That's why it's so hard to win a championship in football. Because you got so many guys from so many different backgrounds, and you ask them to do one thing: come together and make a fabulous dish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're asking. But I think Caleb is going to do really well. They revamped his offensive line. They signed Joe Thuney. They got the guy from the center from the Falcons. I think they got an offensive lineman from the Chargers. They've done a great job. Roma Dunze, DJ Moore. They got the tight end, drafted him first in the first round from Michigan, pairing with Cole Kmet. They got a nice running game. I think defensively they're going to be good. Offensively, they're going to be much better. So with the offense being much better, I think, you take some of the pressure off the defense. And sometimes the best way to help a defense that's not very good is to keep their ass off the field. The offense, you stay on the field for an extended period of time. And we don't let them get on the field. Because bad things happen when they get on the field. But I think Caleb Williams is going to be really, really good this year. I think Ben Johnson. Go ahead, Ocho.
And I'm getting ready to say he's going to take a huge leap.
I think so too.
Huge leap. And going to surprise a lot of people. Every year there's always a team. And to me, I think the Bears might be that team. Every year the same teams are always in contention. Always in contention. Now, I understand the division they play in, Packers. I understand
Packers,
that.
Lions, and the Vikes.
I understand that. But I think they're going to be that team that takes that leap this year that surprises everybody.
I think the thing is, Ocho, they're going to have to. In order for them to make the playoffs, you got the Lions, you got the Packers, you got the Vikes. The Lions lost 1 game, maybe 2 games. The Vikings lost 2 games, maybe 3 games. The Packers were 10-7. So you're looking to probably have to go 10-7, 11-6 just to make the playoffs. The Lions might take a step back, but from the offensive play calling situation, but I think they're going to be just as good. Are they 15? Are they going to be 15-2? Maybe not. Maybe not. But it's hard to see them stepping off a cliff and all of a sudden they win 15 games and drop down to 10. I think they get some of those guys on the defensive side back healthy. Offensively, they're still going to be able to put up points. Jameer Gibbs is special. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams.
That goddamn Brian Branch, boy. Hey, he is the real deal.
They got Joseph. Like I said, they just need to get some of those guys that was injured last year, get those guys back.
Back healthy,
Get those guys back healthy.
Aiden Hutchinson is coming back.
Hutchinson, I just read, I think he's been cleared. He's a full go now. I think the big D tackler, McNeil, I think he got injured. He should be able to go. One of the linebackers got injured. He should be able to go. They had a lot of guys on the injured reserve last year. We're not going to make any excuses. Give Washington credit. Washington went in there, took it to them. They scored. They did a great job of taking the ball away from Jared Goff. The one thing that, we know about Goff, he has the ability to throw you 5 touchdowns, but he can throw 5 interceptions too. And, he picked the worst time to have probably his second worst game of the season.
Yeah.
Now, the worst game was one he had in Houston. He threw 5 picks, and they still won the game.
Yeah.
But this one, those turnovers, they didn't win the game. But I definitely think Caleb Williams is going to have to take a huge step forward. I think he's going to take a huge step forward. You talk about a guy that have great improvisational skill, arm slots in which he can throw the ball from the 3/4, the side, to over the top. He can get the ball out quick, and he's changing his motion because sometimes we just want to, just up and throw the football.
Yeah,
basically get a grip and let it grip.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm anxious to see. I want him to do extremely well. I don't have a problem with what his dad did. His dad tried to put him in the best situation possible. He didn't think Chicago was the best situation possible, but I think Caleb realized they're in a great situation. He had a great offensive mind coming in, a great head coach that's going to be working lockstep with him. He can't ask for anything more than that, Ocho. Just an opportunity to get coached really, really well. Really good players around him. Now you just go do your job. I believe that's what he's going to do. I absolutely believe that's what he's going to do. You don't have the kind of production that he had at USC, and you saw the flashes. You saw the flashes last year of what he can be. As a matter of fact, on Thanksgiving, they was down real bad. Now, situation, there was some miscommunication about do we spike the ball or they let a lot of time run off it and stuff like that, and he ended up getting sacked. But a lot of stuff that you chalk up as a rookie, But I don't think we see those same mistakes this year. I'm excited to see what the future holds for this young man because I think he can be special. He's going to have to be because look at the quarterbacks in that division. Look at the teams in that division.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Bear fans like, man, I want to make the playoff. I want a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. And I believe he gives them the opportunity. We'll see what they're going to be overall as a team, especially when it comes to the defensive side, because we see the improvement from a head coach standpoint, from the offensive line, what they've redone that. Now it's going to come down to defensively. Are they going to be able to stop people? They got some good players back there. So I'm anxious to see what the Bears can do on this one. It's going to be the Bears going, hey, I think they're going to surprise some people, Ocho. I think they're going to put some points on the board. Yeah. I think they're going to really surprise some people. Ocho, check this out.
Talk to me now.
Tyreek Hill released his ranking of top 10 quarterbacks this season. It's on your screen. He got Tua number 1, Lamar Jackson 2, Josh Allen 3, Dak Prescott 4, Jared Goff 5, Brock Purdy 6, Jalen Hurts 7, Kirk Cousins 8, Jaden Daniels 9, Bo Nix 10.
Hold on. Now, what we need to talk about before you say anything, Tyreek, when did you make this list? Because I see Kirk Cousins on there, and I'm not sure at what point you made this list, but it couldn't have been just now or recently. It couldn't have been. This must have been
I disregard everything he said because he got his quarterback to 1.
Well, now, you got to put
Ocho, let me ask you a question. If you got the number 1 quarterback in the NFL, you trying to get up out of there?
He ain't going nowhere.
But do you say that?
No.
Okay, then. That lets you know right there, his quarterback ain't number 1.
Now let's understand and remember his frustrations about doing cardio for 3 quarters and understand why he said that. And they put a camera in front of his face before he could calm down. Remember when we go to the rookie symposium? What the first thing they tell you? If you're angry, don't go to the media. Calm yourself down. Take a deep breath. But no, as soon as the game ends, camera right in his face, he's still upset. What does he say? He answers emotionally and says things he shouldn't say. Does he actually mean it at that time? Probably. But once he comes down and gets back in his right state of mind, God damn it, I shouldn't have said that because
mere fact that even if you the mere fact, I'm talking about how bad, even though when and we're gonna talk about this, even when Trav wasn't getting targets, you think Travis want to leave Patrick Mahomes?
Nah.
Now, the mere fact that he got one omission on that, I don't see the guy. Now, this guy in the last 5 years, he's won 3 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, and 2 MVPs, and he ain't on this list. And you mean to tell me you thought Kirk Cousins, you thought Brock Purdy, you thought Dak Prescott, you thought Tua had a better season, and he had a bad season based on who he is, and you think those guys had a better season than him?
Listen, that's what I'm talking about, Unc. I guarantee you this list isn't recent. I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you it's not. You know?
I mean, we pulled it up from 3 years ago.
Right, but I'm just saying, unless this list was made to do exactly.
Ocho, Bo Nix is on the list. Bo Nix just got into the league this year.
Yeah, but listen, that's what I'm trying to
Daniels just got into the league this year.
He made this list for this very specific reason, for us to be talking and engaging about his list, about said list.
Yes.
I like it. I like everybody. I like everybody on there. I don't like the Kirk Cousins. I don't like the Kirk Cousins based on the way
you like Dak Prescott. The guy missed 10 games.
Yeah, I like Dak. What you talking about? I'm not worried about him. I'm not talking about him missing the game. I like Dak. We talk about body of work. We talk about resume. Now,
what body?
Hey, don't listen. Don't disrespect Dak like that. Don't do that.
Hold on. He ain't got your guy. Hold on. You've been on me all year long about Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but you know, Rick ain't no Bengals fan. He don't even watch us.
He ain't no fan of nobody. He should be a fan of. He should have a tour, and Snoop should have been number 2.
Wait, who?
The backup quarterback, Huntley. I mean, you need to start like Joe. He ain't got Joe on there.
Yeah, because this is his own personal preference on who he feels. We can't fault a man for putting up his preference on his opinion on who his top 10 is. Now, if we talk about quarterbacks, our top 10 is going to look
Ocho,
completely different.
his list, the moment he said Tua was better than Mahomes, we should have disregarded everything when it comes to quarterback to come out of his mouth.
So it's null and void after that, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Because that's so egregious. Ocho, Tua mom and dad won't say Tua better than my homeboy. You won't find nobody in Miami. Put it like this here. If your fan base would trade your quarterback for Mahomes, Lamar, Baltimore ain't trading, Josh Allen, but everybody else on this list, I guarantee you, they would trade their quarterback for Mahomes. You think Dallas would take Mahomes over Dak? You think Atlanta would take him over Kirk Cousins? Philly would take Mahomes over Jalen Hurts. San Fran would absolutely take him over Brock Purdy.
Right.
Detroit would absolutely take him.
Oh, I got one for you.
Who?
Will the Commanders take him over Jaden Daniels? Yeah, go ahead and think about that.
Yeah.
Now. What?
I would. Yeah, hell yeah. The only two, well, only one, Lamar. Because here's the thing. You're going to have to run the offense. See, the thing is, Josh, Dak, that's a drop back. Jared Goff, drop back.
Right.
Jalen Hurts, he runs a very similar West Coast style system to what they run in San Francisco, to what they run in Atlanta. So there ain't going to be a whole lot of drop off. Can you imagine my homeboy with Saquon behind him and AJ and Devontae? You remember when he had Tyreek and Sammy Watkins, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They were eating, bro.
Okay. Can you imagine if he had Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Jonnu Smith, and Achane?
That's nasty.
Yeah. I don't see no Mahomes. I don't see no Joe Burrow. And you got some guys up there, Reek. We wish you well. Ocho.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning says he believes the teams fail young quarterbacks by constantly changing coaches and system. It bothers me that Bryce Young is on his third play caller in 2 seasons. If you draft a guy, commit to a system, learning an offense is like learning a new language. It's not fair. I agree.
Yeah, but most definitely. But listen, you got to understand, the owners are impatient.
Yes.
The owners are extremely impatient because they're thinking every time we get a player, first round pick, we have to miraculously win right away all of a sudden. And that's not the way it works.
Well, Jaden Daniels and CJ Stroud messed it up, though. Because you see what happened, Ocho? So everybody thinks that that's it's supposed to happen like that.
Right.
But that's few and far between. Peyton didn't go. Elway didn't make it his rookie. They're like, you go back and look at some of the greats and see their rookie season did not make the playoffs, and they did not look good. Everybody's not going to look like a Jaden Daniels. Everybody's not going to look like a C.J. Stroud or an Andrew Luck or an RG3. And Baker played really well. Or Justin Herbert threw 30-plus touchdowns. Every rookie is not going to look like that. We've got to stop thinking, Ocho, that everybody that comes out is ready-made. Sometimes it's like a kid's toy. Some assembly is required. Everybody just wanted to open the package and just get the toy and just get it in there.
Yeah, it don't work like that.
No,
it don't work like
damn.
That. And sometimes we are spoiled by quarterback play that is extravagant in their
yes.
CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Turned the franchise around one season. Jaden Daniels turned the franchise around after 33 abysmal years in one season.
Yes.
Quarterbacks like that come around every so often.
Yes.
And then also the other pieces to the puzzle got to be there too. It already had a solid foundation. All you needed was that centerpiece to smooth out the concrete. That's why it looks the way it does.
Yes. But see, here's the thing. When you come from the business world, Ocho, you can change a CEO. And he might have an idea that like, boom. Or, okay, you know what, Ocho, you know what? Instead of the iPod, What if I do earbuds? What if I do a tablet? What if I do iPad?
Right.
So I can do things. I can have a create. But as a quarterback, you keep changing the play callers. He's learning an entirely different system
Every offseason.
How you expect that man? Look at it. Look at the continuity. Even when Brady was losing coordinators, they was running the exact same plays. That was the same offense. That was the same offense. Brett Favre lost coordinators. That was the same offense. That was the same. You got to have continuity. He needs to hear that. It might be a different voice, but he needs that verbiage to be the same. Yeah, you can put your spin on it. But that was Charlie White's offense that Bill O'Brien and Josh McDaniels, and then Josh McDaniels came and ran, and then for some reason, Coach Belichick put two slappies in there that didn't know, didn't know anything about offensive football, and it messed it up. But Peyton is absolutely right. But the biggest mistake is that you judge, you see how his old lady treat him? Well, I ain't got his old lady.
Right.
I got you. So I need to try to make this work with you.
Right.
And I can't judge my relationship of what they doing over there, Ocho. I don't know what he doing. He might be breaking on, hitting up with that Louisville slugger. Hey, you know what I'm saying, Ocho? You got a number 2 pencil. And so you can't do the damage that he doing. I'm just saying, I agree with Peyton 1,000%. Kind of had a conversation with him about that, is that the everybody is so quick because they want instantaneous results.
Instant gratification, and it doesn't
work. It's the lottery, Ocho. Ocho, damn getting up and go to work. Let me go buy this lottery ticket and hit it.
And hope. Yeah, it don't work like that.
That lottery microwave society. Put everything in the microwave and cook it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. And if you do, anytime you have instant gratification, it's always short-lived. Always short-lived.
The 49ers and Brock Purdy has agreed to terms on a 5-year, $265 million contract extension, including a $181 million in total guarantees. The highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL based on a year-to-year basis. Dak Prescott at $60 million. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, and Trevor Lawrence at $55 million. Tua at 53.1. Brock Purdy, 53. Jared Goff at 53.
That's a good number. Right where they have him slotted is a good number for him.
Yeah. I mean, you go, Ocho, you got to think about it. The man made $2.9 million over the first 3 years of his career. Now he'll get a check every week for $2.9 million.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, he deserved it. Well deserved. Well deserved. I like Brock Purdy. I just didn't view him at the tier 1 type quarterback. He had a superior supporting cast around him. You got Trent Williams, you had Debo, you had Brandon Ayuk, you got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. How did he look once some of those pieces went away? It wasn't as pretty. It wasn't as pretty, huh?
It's all about Ocho. When real estate, what is it about? It's about location. In the NFL, it's about position. He plays a premium He plays the premium position. And so you're like, man, that house ain't worth no $40 million. Maybe if it wasn't in Bel Air, you're right. But it's in Bel Air. It's absolutely worth $40 million. And if you want it, that's what you're going to have to pay to get it. Well, a starting quarterback in the NFL that's gone to a Super Bowl, he's gone to 2 NFC championships, he's won. That's what you're going to have to pay to keep him. It's really that simple, Ocho. All that. Man, he ain't worth that. You work with somebody to pay for it.
He plays very well in that offense, in that Shanahan offense. He plays very, very well.
Look, actually, he's probably worth more because he saved Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's job, because they invested all that money in Trey Lance. They gave up all that draft capital to get Trey Lance. They took this man as Mr. Irrelevant in the last pick in the 7th round. Now, if you don't take him and you got Trey Lance and you done moved on from Trey Lance, you're gone. You're gone.
Hey, Unc and Ocho, Ayuk, didn't he tear his ACL?
Tear his ACL last year. Like
Debo gone, right?
Debo.
Okay, so he got Kittles. Who else he throwing to?
Brandon Ayuk will be back. Juwan Jennings. Ricky Pearsall.
And Ayuk gonna be back already after ACL?
No, yeah. ACL don't take that long. It don't take that.
Medicine different now, Joe. Medicine different now. He did it real early, so he'll definitely be back. So he did it like in September. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah.
We got a few players coming back. We got Brandon Ayuk coming back off ACL, Stephon Diggs coming back off ACL. And it seemed like they're recovering faster because obviously technology is a lot more advanced, and the rehab and stuff that they do is a lot more advanced as opposed to before.
Yes.
So players are coming back faster than ever, especially once you get over that mental block and understanding that you could trust your knee and be comfortable cutting and moving. Oh man, that's the hardest part right there.
In just 3 seasons, he's passed for 9,518 yards, 64 touchdowns, 4 playoff wins, NFC Championship, and a Pro Bowl. So that's the going rate. C.J. Stroud is up next.
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud up next, Ocho.
Hey, listen, he finna get the bag.
Got the guap down.
Yeah. And pretty soon you're gonna have Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. They're gonna be coming down the pipe.
They finna set the mark. They finna have the quarterback out of control.
Oh, they're gonna reset it.
Yeah. That's $60 million. But Josh Allen got his whole contract guaranteed. $265, Ocho.
Hey.
No, what he got, we're tagged on, so it's like $330.
Hey, was that more than what Deshaun got?
Deshaun got $230 guaranteed.
They got the same agent.
No, Deshaun had David Muguleta. I don't know who Brock Purdy's agent is. David Muguleta, and I think all of them are athletes first, right? Who's Brock Purdy? Oh, yeah, I've never heard of them. Deshaun, David Muguleta is his agent. I think all of them are the athletes first. I thought Todd France, who has Dak. Who? I think look at CEO Todd France. I think he's at athletes first. Okay, yeah. So, but I agree with you, Ocho. I think Brock Purdy was deserving, had earned this, given what he had done, his resume, a Pro Bowl, a Super Bowl, NFC Championship game, 2. He had gone to 2 NFC Championship games. Remember, he tore his elbow, messed his elbow up like the first snap.
That was a playoff game, wasn't it? That was a playoff game. Yeah,
and the championship game, NFC Championship game to the Eagles.
Sure was.
And so, he earned it. He earned this. He earned this big payday. I like to see guys, and I like to see teams reward the players. You play well, we're going to reward you. Don't do all that haggling. I hate that they haggle all other positions except
they
the
never
quarterback
do the quarterback position like that. Ever.
Yeah. I hate that. Look, man, hey, I understand that he's important, but I've done my job. I've gone to 4 Pro Bowls. I've been 2 or 3 time first team All-Pro. And now you want to haggle me.
They're going to always do it.
They always. I'm trying to think who. So CJ is going to be up next year. As a matter of fact, if I'm the Ravens, I go ahead and do something with Lamar.
What you mean? Sign him?
I extend him. Yeah, hell yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it again. Probably sometime in the middle. I bet they do something in the middle of the season. Watch.
In the middle of the season or after the season.
How many years he got left?
Yeah.
Shoot, he just signed that big one.
He signed a 5-year, 2-something.
Yeah.
So what he in? This 3rd year into that? 2nd year?
This is the 2nd year to it.
but you got certain people that's getting ready to overlap him, and they ain't got no business.
Yeah, no, well, you see, we just named 3, 6, 8 quarterbacks, and we ain't mentioned Lamar. I think Lamar's about 50.
They ain't got no business overlapping young bull.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, he made a point.
Excuse me, hold on. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Hold on.
Go ahead. Well, you better get him before he mess around and win a Super Bowl, because now you have to pay him $70 million.
Lamar?
Yeah. He has 2 MVPs. The only guy on this list that has an MVP is Josh Allen. So Lamar has 2. Dak doesn't have any. Joe doesn't have any. Joe has gone to the Super Bowl, but he's the only one, he and Brock Purdy, that's on this list that's going to the Super Bowl. None of the other guys have even played in a championship game.
Yeah, that's going to be the separator for Lamar. If he can get him one, if he can win one,
it's over.
Man.
It's definitely over if he can do that.
What they got? They're going to have to back that Brinks truck up. Beep, beep.
Yeah, for sure. But they definitely have the team. You know, they re-signed. They didn't re-sign him. They extended him. King Henry gave him $25 million, 2-year extension, $25 million. They extended him. I like Rashad Bateman. I like the receiving core they got. They brought Andrews back. They brought Isaiah Likely. They brought him back. Look, the defense is going to be solid again. Offensive line is intact. Lamar is going to be Lamar.
So, you know, they're going to be consistently, they're going to be pretty good.
They're going to be there. Yep. They just got, the hardest thing is to break it through that wall the first time. Once you break through, then all of a sudden it's just like, it happens. But that's the hardest thing. You see, Josh Allen hadn't broken through yet because seemingly when they have to go against my homeboy, only a handful of people have been able to stare him down in the playoff game. And that's been Joe Burrow did it, and Tom Brady did it. Brady beat him in the Super Bowl once, and Jalen Hurts just got him. But it's tough. It's tough getting through that first time.